Everyone who lives in Belfast knows that while the sign next to this lovely puddle reads Kirby Lake, its real name is the Muck. But which name came first? And what is the story of this brackish and unassuming Belfast landmark? Intern Willa Bywater was inspired to make this video after reading in the glossary of Williamson's History of Belfast. On page 17 of Volume 1, published in 1875, Williamson describes the, quote, muck hole, quote, a deposit of decaying vegetable matter at the upper end of Miller Street near the Stanley Road, Lincolnville Avenue, overflowed in wet weather. The plan of converting it into a reservoir to supply the city in case of fire was made the object of a public meeting in 1872. The muck was officially purchased by the city in 1875, supposedly as a potential water supply for firefighting, though that plan never truly came to fruition. Other land of it was purchased from an Arthur Robbins in 1911. In 1907, a Republican Journal report reads that, quote, it may be news to some of our readers that the city owns the Muck Pond, perhaps we should say Kirby Lake, and quite an area of land surrounding it. The Belfast Improvement Society then owned it for a time, with the first mention of their efforts to improve it being in 1912 and again in 1924. They then gave it back to the city, possibly, in 1933. The muck has been used for skating since at least 1920, and at various times there were plans to turn it into a proper skating rink. It was apparently upgraded into a hockey rink in 1936 with intention of it being used for the Colby College hockey team, but it's unclear what exactly these upgrades entailed or where they went, because they certainly aren't around anymore. The only time the muck has ever been used as a source of drinking water was in 1943, after the Little River Dam burst and Belfast was temporarily without water. Thankfully, they brought filters for the emergency pumps, and Belfast had clean water restored within 4 days. While the 1875 map of Belfast refers to the muck as Kirby Lake, several different newspaper snippets from the 1880s refer to it simply as the Muck Pond, and there's a clear historical source for the name of the muck. Perhaps the greatest mystery of all is who Kirby is. The aforementioned 1875 map shows a small house next to the muck labeled P. Kirby, but P. Kirby is not referred to elsewhere, and who he might be is unclear. Perhaps the true depths of the muck's history will always remain as murky as the depths of the muck itself.